Okay, so I'm super excited, and before Courtney, like while she finishes up her notes and things like that, um, I really just wanted to get on here with her. For those of you who are really like ready to promote, want to make this happen, because Courtney, like last month, she like most people probably think like she was really far away, and like there was no way that she was gonna make it happen, or maybe she thought that too, and we've all been in those places, but Courtney like really got serious. She like got a good plan. She made a system, and it worked, and I feel like it really helped her. And so like now I'm like, whenever people are like wanting to promote, I'm like, this is kind of like, I feel like what Courtney did is something simple and something that everybody could do. So I just wanted her to come on here and kind of share what she did, um, and how she got everything like lined out, like how she helped make things happen, what kind of things she did with her team and things like that, to kind of be organized and everything like that. So, Courtney, are you like ready
I
to?
am ready. I am
Okay.
ready to rock. I
Okay.
am, let me, one,
So, Courtney, like maybe you can tell them because I don't really remember exact numbers. I feel like I do in my head, but I don't want to say anything wrong. But
yep,
maybe like even tell them like at the beginning of the month, like
yep,
what you needed and stuff like that.
yeah, for sure.
Too.
Okay, first thing I will introduce myself and then I'm going to ask you guys a question quick. So my name is Courtney Wazalowski. I am a diamond, which is still weird to say. I'm a diamond with It Works. I've been with the company for a little bit less than 2.5 years. Um, and things are starting to really roll with me lately. And I'm very, very excited to be doing this Zoom with you guys. I have one question.
Wait, can I say something really quick?
Yes.
Sorry. Because tell everybody, because at the beginning of the year, you were paid as executive, right?
No, I was paid as a distributor.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to go into all of this. So
Okay, shut up then. Okay.
my question is everybody okay with me getting like real and raw and like giving you all the dirty details? Because
Yes.
I'm totally willing to. I just don't want to offend anybody or like freak anybody out. So I am going to get very, very real and very raw and tell you all the little details about my journey. So I started back in April of 2016. I had all these big dreams. When I signed, I was like, I'm going to go Emerald right away. I'm going to kill it, whatever. I did not. Okay. It took me 16 months to go executive. Okay. I did not maintain executive ever after that until I promoted to Emerald. Okay. So I went executive 16 months after I started. Did not maintain executive ever. Went to conference in January. The whole 2016 and whole 2017, I had never finished my Steps to Success once. I had signed a total of 5 distributors in those, whatever, year and a half. And I had never ever done Steps to Success. I went to conference in 2017. I was ready for that to like catalyst my business, be like this big thing. And it wasn't. It was fun. I had a great time, but I didn't explode like I wanted to. So January hit. I had moved in with my boyfriend, and he was everything I needed him to be at the time, because I had always talked about these big things that were going to happen with my business, and I was like, we're going to do this because if it works, we're going to do that. And I had this big talk about everything that was going to happen, and he kind of like slapped me in the face a little bit, not physically, but was like, you have all these dreams and all these goals of what you're going to do, but you're not working towards that. You're not doing what you need to do to make that happen. And I was like, oh shit, like that's true. Like I had all these dreams and I was so excited, but I wasn't doing anything that I needed to do. So January 2018 hit, and I was like, you know what? I did the stupid New Year, New Me. I was like, I'm going to do it. That was, 9 months ago? So that month of January was the first time I had ever completed my Steps to Success. I got my 4th customer the last day of the month while we were in conference. And I ended the month with 4 customers and 4 distributors. Of those 4 distributors, one of them is still working. One. Okay. February. The big Emerald bonus was announced, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go Emerald. This is going to be great. I did not, nor did I maintain executive. I signed 2 customers, 8 distributors. Cool. 3 of them are still working. And 2 girls, 2 of those 3 one of them was my emerald, one of them was my ruby. Okay. March, I had not hit my goals at all for February. And instead of letting it like super upset me and like get me down all this much about how I didn't do what I was going to do and I'm not good enough and I just can't hit emerald and all this stuff, I was like, no, forget it. Like, I'm going to hit emerald. And I remember telling Lindsay, like, I'm going emerald this month, whether there's a $5,000 bonus or not. Like, I'm doing this. And she might have thought it was crazy because if you looked at my chart, like, homegirl, I was not going emerald. Like, it was not happening. I signed that month 29 distributors and 29 customers, 9 distributors. Remember, before that month, my highest ever in a month was 4 customers. 4, okay? Of those 9 distributors that I signed in March, one of them is still working. 1. So that is just to show you guys, like, if you have distributors that start and they don't keep working, oh well, it happens to everyone. Get over it. It's not just you. So March, when I went emerald, I honestly don't even know how much volume I needed, but it was too much. With 3 days left, I needed 2,200 BV. And I made it happen somehow. I did, which I'll get into more of that later. But so then I was all excited. I did it. I hit emerald. And then April came around. I signed 1 customer in the month of April. Signed 6 distributors. None of them are still working, probably because I wasn't really working that month. So they saw me like, hey, you can post maybe once a day. That's fine. That's what my leader did. It's not okay, but none of those are still there. I didn't maintain emerald that month. Okay. May came around. I signed 0 distributors, but I signed 4 customers. I didn't maintain emerald, didn't maintain ruby, but I maintained executive, and I was like, hey, I guess that's something, I guess. June came around, and I was like, all right, Courtney, like, get your stuff together, like, figure your stuff out. I signed 23 customers, 7 distributors. Only 2 of them are still working. Still didn't maintain emerald. Still didn't maintain ruby, but I did maintain executive. Okay. July came around, and I was all gung-ho. I was like, I'm going to go diamond this month. Signed 31 customers, 17 distributors. Didn't go emerald. At the last day of the month, I still needed, or didn't go diamond. At the last day of the month, I still needed 3,500 to go diamond. Okay.
Remember, and I almost had this crazy idea in your head that we were going to, like, I called Courtney like 2 days later, and I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And then she's like, okay, wait.
Yeah. So I'm psycho in a way where, like, if I decide something, like, and I, like, actually decide in my mind, I'm like, all right, like, let's do it. I don't care what I need. But then I, like, brought myself back to ground, and I was like, I had so many other things happening. Because also I was planning to move cross country the next month in, like, a week. Okay. So that was July. August came around, and I told Lindsay, I was like, I don't care what the hell I have to do. I'm going diamond. Beginning of the month, I needed over 4,100 BV. 4,100. I was fully boxed, so that was good. I didn't need any distributors, but I needed a ton of BV, guys. So much BV, okay? I ended up signing in the month of August 23 customers and 3 distributors. Nothing that great, but it was good. And I hit diamond. But if you would have talked to me, or if most sane people would have looked at my chart and looked at my numbers, they would have been like, not happening. You're not doing it. With 4 hours left of the month, I needed over 900 BV still. 900 with 4 hours left. 4 hours. And there were so many reasons why I could have been like, hey, this isn't my month. Like, it's not going to happen. I left. Let me figure out the day. We moved. So we left our house in Illinois the 29th of August. Okay. We drove like 4 hours each day to move to North Carolina. So the last 3 nights of the month and the last 3 days of the month, I was in a car. Half the time I didn't have internet. Half the time I was sleeping because I was in a car. Okay. I'm terrible at staying awake in a car. I'm real bad at it. But I didn't let that stop me. I knew that I had to get this done. And obviously, like, we were in a hotel and Matthew was like, babe, like, let's go swimming, let's go in the hot tub. And I had to say, nope, I'm not going swimming. I'm not going in the hot tub. I have to get this done. And I had to make sacrifices. Did I want to go in the pool in the hot tub with Matthew and his siblings? Heck yeah, I did, because we don't have a pool. But I also knew that me doing this would feel a lot better for the rest of my life than for the half hour of me in the pool. So I had to make sacrifices, but they were very short term. Guys, even if you make a short term sacrifice for the whole month, is that worth the rest of your life? Because I will tell you this. My paycheck from Diamond, I gave myself an $1,800 raise. $1,800. Is that worth some sacrifice? Is that worth some nights with less sleep? Is that worth being on my phone a couple extra hours a day? Is that worth a little bit extra organization, a little extra like umph in my step? I'd say so, because you guys put that little extra bit at your full-time jobs if you have a job, and I can bet they're not giving you an $1,800 raise. So you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. You have to be willing to know what you need to do and to do it. It's not always easy. It's not always the fun decision. And it's not always like what you want to do. Heck, most of the time you don't want to do it. But you have to have the self-discipline to make yourself do it. Whether that's with yourself or you have someone that's like, get up and work, where sometimes that was Matthew. Thank the Lord for him, because I would be laying on the couch watching The Bachelor and he was like, oh, are they paying you? Because I didn't know they were, but It Works does. And that was a little slap in the face that I needed sometimes. So you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. So I'm going to tell you about a little bit more about my going Diamond. So again, when I started, it took me 16 months to go executive. Never maintained. It took me 9 months to double promote. I did Ruby and Emerald in the same month, and then another 4 months to go Diamond. So point of that is it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to your goal, because guess what? Diamond doesn't feel any worse now that it's been 2.5 years than it would have if I did it in 3 months. It's still as exciting. It's still my journey, and it happens at the time I need it to. And just know that you're going to promote to where you're going to promote to at your time when you're willing to work for it. And your story is happening the way it is for a reason, because I can guarantee you, and I know that it's true for me because I get messages about it, your journey, whether it feels right to you, it's happening for a reason to help somebody else. Because I get messages from people that are like, you know what, I didn't think that I could go Diamond because I've been in for 4 years, but you've been in 2.5 years and you just made it happen. Like, I was never this big like rock star. I didn't fly right away from when I started. Heck, I was terrible. If I was my leader, I would have been like, girl, this girl sucks. Never talking to her like she's not doing anything. I had these big goals and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff, but I was not consistent. I didn't do anything. Okay. I was all talk. I didn't walk the walk. So, I needed over 4,100 BV, beginning of the month. With 4 hours left, I needed 913 BV. And the last day, I found out that 3 of my 3 of my 5 promotion spots were not commission qualified. Your promotion spots need to be commission qualified. Okay? If they're not commission qualified, they're not a promotion spot. So I had one girl that didn't answer me all day. Didn't answer, just whatever. I had another girl that I had to talk to for probably 6 hours to explain to her what commission qualified was and why it needed to happen. She didn't realize anything about that. And there was another girl that just said she had to place, she had Ruby done. Okay, she was a Ruby. Everything was done. She was 90 BV away from being commission qualified and getting a $1,000 bonus. Would not place an order. Would not get herself commission qualified. She didn't want to. I can't force her to place an order to be commission qualified. And I could have let all of those little hiccups stop me and just tell Lindsay, like, this is too much. I can't handle it. It's not going to come together. We'll go for it next month. I could have said that thousands of times in the month, but I chose not to. And because I made that decision, I hit my goal. Was it always easy? No, it was never easy. Did I always think it was going to happen? No. There was a solid week where I was messaging Lindsay and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't think I'm going to do this. Like, I'm freaking out. And we were trying to get to the bottom of it and figure out what it was that I didn't think I was doing it. When I knew I could, like, my team was killing it. It was all coming together, but my brain wasn't there. And I have a whole page of notes that I'm hopefully going to get through. And I'm so sorry if this is longer than you want it to be, but I'm just going to like spill my heart. So the number one thing is you need to get right in your brain, because you cannot promote to what you want to promote to if you're not solid in your brain, or solid in your mind, I guess is a better thing to say, but, and also like fully deciding that you're making it happen. Because you just telling your leader, me or Lindsay or Mandy or whoever, like, hey, I'm going to go diamond this month, but you don't do anything, and you know in your head, like, you say, yeah, I'm going to go diamond this month, but then the little voice in your head's like, yeah, but if you don't, it's okay too. I mean, it's fine. Hold on. My voice is getting really dry. My throat is. You need to learn how to shut that tiny voice off in your head. You need to learn how to, you need to convince yourself that you are going diamond or you're going whatever. Oh yeah, also, Mandy, the Messenger crashed with like an hour left of the month. Messenger crashed. I was like, great. I texted Lindsay and I was like, just got blocked from Messenger, and she was like, no, it just crashed. So that happened, is that we were trying to get the last orders in. So you need to get to a point, you need to convince yourself. There is a feeling that I didn't always feel in the month, which I think I would have hit it a lot faster if I had always had this feeling. But there's a feeling that you get when you're like, holy crap, I'm actually doing this. You have more energy, you're more excited, you're happier. There's a feeling that you're like, oh my God, it's actually happening. I'm actually going to do this. And you need to trick your brain into that feeling the whole month long. You need to trick your brain into thinking, I'm so close, I just need a little bit more, the whole month. The whole month, because you can't go one day like, heck yeah, I'm doing it, and the next day being like, gosh, like, I don't know if I can do this, like, maybe I'll just try next month. You can't take yourself out of the game, or you can't think about taking yourself out of it, because the second you think about taking yourself out of the game of your promotion, you're done. Promotion's not happening. One day off takes 5 days to get back on. We don't have that time to take 5 days every time you take 1 day off. I'm sorry. I asked you guys if I was like, if I could be blunt. There is no time for days off. If you want to take days off, do not plan on promoting this month, and don't plan on promoting next month. You can't do it. You have to be consistent every single day, whether you want to or not. There were days that I was like dying in bed sick. Oh well, still did 3 posts a day, still sent messages. Moving, getting stuff done. You need to be consistent. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It is not negotiable. There are no days off. You cannot have days off. It doesn't matter if you need to tell your friends and family or like whoever, like, hey, we're not having date nights this month. I'm not going out for drinks. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this for whatever. If you need to tell people every single day that you can't do stuff, who cares? Doesn't matter. And if they're not okay with it, you shouldn't be okay with them in your life, because they are not actually supporting you for what you want in your life and to better yourself. So there were friends of mine that got mad at me because that was the month that I was leaving home. I could have been like, gosh, like, I'm going to go out to dinner with my friends, say bye to them, whatever. No, didn't do it. If you could come during specific times that I had openings, great. Otherwise, I didn't see you. My best friend, I didn't see her before I left. Oh, well, I had stuff to do. There are no days off. There are no days off, guys. Every single day, I'm not kidding. This is not negotiable. If you take 1 day off, you're done. I'm sorry. You need to post at least 3 times a day, every single day. At least once about the business, at least once about the products, and at least once about something else. You can post more than that, never less. Also, post your story at least every other day. Post a poll, do whatever. Your story, Facebook and Instagram came up with that, and that shows you more algorithms. So you just do it. Whether it's It Works related or not, just do it. Doesn't matter if it's some stupid thing, just put something up there, okay? Just, for God's sake, do it. Second thing, you need to message, and do not let this number scare you. And if I have one person say, oh, I don't have time to do that, cry me a river. Yes, you do. You need to message at least 100 people a day. No ifs, ands, or buts. At least 100 people a day. When I went Emerald, I messaged 300 to 400 a day. And I worked full time. Okay? And I had to pick Matthew up and take him places and all of that. Oh, wow. Everybody's busy. I woke up, that month that I went Emerald, I did 5 a.m. power hours. I hate mornings. I despise mornings. Okay? Month I went Diamond, I did 8 a.m. power hours. That's a little bit better. I had quit my full-time job, so it was okay. Guys, figure it out. I don't care if you tell me you're busy. I don't care if you have 10,000 children and you work full-time and you have 4 other jobs. Figure it out. You have time to poop. You have time to message people. You're fine. If you need to go to bed a half hour later and get up a half hour earlier, oh well. You can send out 100 messages in 20 minutes. I'm not kidding. Figure it out. Do text replacement. Figure out what you're going to message. Figure out who you're going to message. Do not go research everybody. I would rather send out 100 messages and accidentally send one to someone that hates me, send one to another distributor, and deal with that hate than spend 4 hours sending messages. And that might not be what everybody says to do, but I don't care. That's what you do. You just got to get them out. It's a numbers game. You have to send the messages. You need to figure out what you need for that month. If you're fully boxed, which I was, I needed volume. So I messaged almost only for customers. I did host-to-post messages and loyal customers. If you need both, do half customers, half distributors. But if you need a ton of distributors, yes, customers are going to be good, but you're kind of wasting your time, because if you get customers and you just put them wherever and you don't actually need that for your promotion, what are you doing? You're wasting volume. Get your distributors in first. Still work on products, but you need to get your distributors in. If you're not boxed, you can't promote. If you can sign 3,000 customers, but if you're not boxed, oh well, too bad. Great, you signed 30,000 BV in a month of customers, awesome, but you didn't get your boxes. You have to get your boxes. That's it. Other things to do every day. I'm sorry, guys. I'm yelling at you, but I asked you if I could be blunt and whatever. So you get angry, Courtney, sometimes. You need to interact with people every single day. You have to. You have to follow up with people. You have to go like on their pictures. You have to go tell them that you love their hair, even if you hate it. You need to go whatever. Talk to people. Make a friend. Because guess what? People don't want to be sold to. Do not add someone and then message them the same day and be like, hey, can you buy something from me? No! Don't be stupid. But come on, guys. Okay. It's common sense. Interact with people. Follow up with them. Stay organized. Know who you have to follow up with. Set a reminder in your phone. I'll get a little bit more into detail with this. I get all excited. With following up, if someone says, hey, I'm going to order this day, put a reminder in your phone. I literally use my reminders app, and it just says, like, I just press and hold on Siri and I say, remind me on the 12th to sign up Susie Q for the cleanse, whatever. So then on the 12th, it'll pop up and tell me that I need to sign who so-and-so up. And sometimes I have to find them, and I'm like, I don't even remember talking to this person. Figure it out. Figure out what system works for you. If you're a paper person, write out paper. If you want it all on your phone, a calendar, a planner, whatever. Do something. I don't care if it's little scratch pieces of paper on the back of a receipt. Figure it out. Write it down. Okay. You need to grow your network every single day. Oh, sorry, I just saw a message. You send most messages through Facebook. Okay, I'm going to answer all of the chat questions at the end, because this will take 4 hours otherwise. But I closed out the chat, so feel free to put all of your questions in there, and I'll go through and answer them at the end. You need to grow your network every single day. I followed at least 200 people a day and added at least 25 new people a day on Facebook. 25 on Facebook, 200 on Instagram every day. It is what it is. If otherwise, you're not going to reach a big enough market. You're not doing it. If you have 200 friends, what have you been doing? Unless you started yesterday, what are you doing? Add people. You need a bigger market than that. You need to stay in a good mindset, and you need to figure out how your mind works. So it is unreal for you to think, or it's just not possible for you to think that I'm going to be happy and excited and motivated every day. It's not going to happen. You're going to wake up in a funk. Your dog's going to break its leg. Something's going to happen to get you off your mindset. Okay? You need to figure out what works for you to get yourself back into the mindset. For me, I'm a music person. I listen to songs that get me pumped up and excited. I lean on music. I lean on God. If the music isn't working, I sit there and pray. If praying isn't working, I read the Bible. Whatever. Figure out what works for yourself to get your brain right. Okay? Have a game plan. Hey, if I get in a weird funk, first I'm going to listen to this song. Then I'm going to watch this video. Then I'm going to read this verse. Then I'm going to do this. Whatever. Have action steps, but also be comfortable enough in yourself and have someone that you can reach up to. So I tried all those things and I couldn't get my brain right. And I messaged Lindsay and I was like, Lindsay, something's not right. I'm feeling off. I don't know what's going on. I need you to pump me up. Lindsay's really good at slapping you in the face when you need her to. She's real good at it. It's not always fun. And you sometimes want to slap her, but it works. Okay. She does what she needs to do. You gotta be prepared for that. You can't think everything's going to be happy and go lucky all month long. It's not going to happen. Life doesn't work like that. We don't live in Candyland. Okay. Next. This is what Lindsay said that I did so well, which this is just how my brain works, but it did help me a ton. So I'm going to walk you through every step and how to do what I did. Yes.
Can you, because I know a couple of people had just gone on, can you repeat really quick, just what you needed at the beginning of this month, volume wise to promote? So you were boxed in and you needed 4,100 BV to promote.
Yep. Beginning of the month, I had all the distributors, but I needed over 4,100 BV. And with 4 hours left in the month, I needed 913.
Okay. So.
And I still did it. So I don't want to hear any of you excuses, people telling me at the end of the month, I needed 500. Oh, wow. Figure it out. Find it. Pull it out of your butthole if you have to. Get it. Okay. I get all irritated because I don't like excuses.
Okay.
Okay. I actually had a really good day, and I feel like I'm wanting to punch people.
You're just fired up. Okay, so let's talk about what you did. So we made a game plan. Yes. So we figured out the projected volumes. Every person on your chart, and even you had a couple options that you could have used too, but yes. We looked at the different options and what was most realistic and going to happen.
So
more likely,
you need to figure out what your goal is. And if you have one distributor, don't tell me your goal is triple diamond. Come on. Figure out what you're actually willing to work for. Could you go from a brand new distributor to triple diamond in a month? Maybe. I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but it's it's possible. But know yourself. Are you actually willing to work that hard? Okay? That's my question about that. The next thing, the first thing that I did is I printed out my chart. And I wrote out in a separate chart for each one, every possible way I could go emerald or diamond. Okay? I knew all the possible ways. I figured out every single person's projected volume. Okay? So what that means, how I did that, I went into eSuite. I clicked reports, tree viewer. And then I searched that person's name and I pressed the drop down button and I added up every single loyal customer with their volume that was supposed to come together that month. Everyone that had an auto ship on, great. That's what their number got added up into. So I figured out all my different options. Okay? We all heard my number one option didn't happen because one girl that had a Ruby done didn't place a stupid 90 BV order to be commission qualified. Still don't get it, but it happens. So although you have your plan A, have a plan B, C, and D. So that if plan A doesn't work, you're not I'm done. It's not going to happen. You have to be prepared, guys. Okay, so you have your charts. Know what every single volume is needed. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen with you and walk you through how I made what I think took me to diamond. So Microsoft Excel. If you don't have it, you can download a free version of it. Okay.
I'm gonna get a notebook because this is scary.
It is not scary. It scares Lindsay, but this helped me so much. Okay. So we're going to focus on, Lindsay, do you know most people on this Zoom right now, is it like majority are going for Ruby, Emerald? What are we going for? Majority?
I would say Ruby, Emerald, yeah.
Okay.
We might have a couple diamonds on here and there's a couple doubles, but
okay.
I would say focus on the Ruby, Emerald.
Okay. Sure. We're gonna pretend I'm going for Emerald right now. So what I did, I would put Ruby. So like whoever was going Ruby, I'd put them in caps. And this is one of their 400 boxes. That was the second of their 400 boxes. Then I would do their executive on that light, 400.
Can I just say that Courtney used to send me these things and I'd be like, I don't know what the heck this means. I need you to send me like something in English.
Lindsay's a grandma. Okay, you just have to let it happen. So then I would do the second ruby leg as if I'm going, this is as if I'm going emerald. Everyone following along, or should I pull up an emerald chart too? Like, do you know what I'm doing? Like you're following.
Well, if people are going emerald, they should know what an emerald chart is. And if
okay.
they don't, then we need to have mediation afterwards.
Right. Okay, so this is basically an emerald chart. You have 2 rubies and 2 400 boxes, okay? So once I figured out what every person needs, so one of this ruby's top legs at the end of the month, she was going to have 302, or 203. This one was going to have 189. Then this one was going to have 76 and 340 and whatever, okay? We're just putting things in. Okay, so then I have all of their projected volumes in. Then what I would do here, I would press on, this is where you need to pay attention. This is where Lindsay got confused because she didn't know what was happening. So I'd go to formulas. I would insert a function, sum. Lindsay, stop getting confused.
I never did well at this part of school. I always cheated, so I'm definitely like way behind.
Way to be a good leader. Okay. So you do 400 plus a negative the one before. So what this is doing, this is basically saying how much more BV this person needs to get to 400. So then you press enter. This person needs 197. Copy and paste it. Okay.
Hey, really quick.
What's up?
If you go back to that box,
mm-hmm.
Okay, so like, will yours change it automatically if you change box B?
Yep, I'll show you.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I have another way, but that's fine. Go ahead.
The fact that someone else is following this is like blowing my mind.
Lindsay, you're so stupid.
I took Excel.
Mandy's like good at like math and like stuff like that. And
if you guys all want to hate me, I miss math homework from school. Legitimately miss homework. Okay. So
I'll send you Jesus.
So this is, let's move this down one. Come on. Don't freeze on me, you computer, I swear to God. There we go. Current, needed. So then, okay, so this person signed a wrap, loyal customer. So then now she has 257. It will automatically change what's needed for that person when you update the volumes, okay? The other thing that I did is I put, or the full team of that person. So I had a stacked team. I was very like long. So like this 400 box, even though she was the 400 box, she could have Susie on her team and Laura and Elizabeth, whatever, so that I knew whose volume could all add up for this. Make sense? Is everyone following along? Someone say something.
I think we're all shaking our heads and nodding, and you aren't looking at us, and we're
Well,
muted.
I only see like 4 people, so I don't know what's going on. All right, stop.
Well, people are muted, so you can't hear them crazy.
I know, but I didn't see any faces going like this. Stephanie, I see you, and I miss you, and I love you. Okay, so what I figured out from here then, so I knew who my producers were. I knew who could bring in volume. I knew who could do whatever. I knew what teams were doing. So this Ruby was killing it. So I was like, all right, I don't need to worry about this leg this Ruby right now. This Ruby was doing okay. Her executive was killing it. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to focus on them. These two had nothing going on. I knew where my top priority was and where I needed to fill volume first. So the way that I did it, I filled my top 400 boxes first because no one else could put volume in there other than me. So I filled those. And then once those were done, I figured out who is going to need volume and cannot produce it themselves. That is how I figured out where to move things. And that's kind of just like charting 101. But this Excel sheet saved me. Now, the last 3 days of the month, remember I was traveling. I did not have my Excel sheet, so I had a paper version of this. It was hectic, but Lindsay, I think I did send you pictures of it, and it all made sense to you in paper. It was literally the exact same thing. So this is how I make an Excel sheet. This is how I tracked my volume. I knew how much more BV I needed in total. Okay? I don't know if you guys can hear Matthew and his siblings downstairs, but they're very obnoxious right now. Okay. Can you hear them? They're like screaming. Okay. So then what I did, I personally knew my team would get overwhelmed if I went to, okay, hold on, let me backtrack. So then I had every single person that was promoting. So this was the Ruby 1, this was the Ruby 2, like the second person going Ruby, exec 1, exec 2, and then whoever else was working on promoting. Let me text Matthew and ask him to be quiet because it's distracting me. They're loud. So I had all of their volumes added up. So like if this Ruby, I would add up all 4 of these. I would literally do like the auto sum of these ones. And then that's what I would add it up. So this Ruby needed 738 to go Ruby. But if I knew that my team, if I said, hey, you need 738 BV to go Ruby, they'd be like, great, I don't like, how's that going to happen? So I figured out something that my team was good at selling. My team slings cleanses. Like we just go through cleanses like it's our job, which it is. But so I split it up into cleanses. So I was like, okay, 738 divided by 36. I'm going to pull up my calculator because although I like math, I'm not that great at it anymore.
Mandy probably already did it in her head.
Probably. So then I would message her and I would be like, hey girl, you're only 20 cleanses away from Ruby. Because in my head, 20 cleanses sounds so much more doable than 738 BV. Whether that's just in my head or my team, don't know, but it worked so well. So well. Okay? So that is the Excel sheet. Hopefully that made sense.
Really quick. Oh, man, never mind. I was going to show you a trick. Go ahead.
No, I don't want a trick, Mandy. I'm just kidding.
You do.
Later.
Well, and two, so like once you figured out what everybody needed, you like you messaged each person and you were like, hey, this is what you need, huh?
My next topic of conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I'm segueing. But yeah, you messaged each person to let them know what each of them needed. So you were like, hey, Kate, like this is what you need to go Ruby. And then kind of like go from there.
Yeah. So I had a ton of different group chats. I had one for my full group, like my full team. And I updated them weekly as far as like what was needed left for our team goal. And I split it up and I like would tag people like, okay, we need 6 cleanses left from person A, B, and C. combined or whatever. So like my team always knew what we were going towards and what more they needed. I also kept anybody that was working on promotion, I kept them updated probably every 3 or so days and was like, oh my gosh, you only need this much more, this much whatever. But I also stayed in touch with them quite often. If not every day, every other day, saying like, hey, how's it going? You got this. What can I help you with? What's going on? Whatever. So I made sure everybody in the team and all of the promoters knew what they needed always. Always. I had people on my team that even though their volume was done, they were like, hey, can I do, like, is there anything else I can do to help the team? Because when it's not just like, hey, I need this for Diamond, like, they'd be like, great, cool, like, have a nice day. But if you show, like, hey, this is our team goal, like, we got this. This is what we need. People want to help. And I had 2 people on my friends list that because I went live and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so excited. We're so close to these bonuses. I had 2 people message me that had never been interested in products before that were like, hey, I want to help out your team. Can I order something? One person ordered as a retail customer. So it didn't work anything. But make sure your team knows what they need. Make sure you're very loud about your goals and you're posting about it and your friends and family know what's going on because they will want to help you. So checking in with your team is very, very important. I talked to my upline, Lindsay, I think every single day and probably way more than she wanted me to, but I did. I would always update her. Like, I was like, oh, we got 25 BV. And it was like, great. Like, you're really not that close, but whatever.
Whatever. I never said that. I was excited and you're crazy. So yeah.
Make sure you're talking to your upline. And if you have not told your upline that you want to promote, first off, what the heck is wrong with you? Second, go tell them. Because we don't know if you want to promote if you don't tell us that you want to promote. We shouldn't have to come to you and be like, hey, do you want to do something this month? That means you don't want to do it. Come to us and tell us, hey, I'm freaking going Ruby this month. And never feel like you're bothering your upline either. Like, never be like, sorry for another question. Like, what about this? We don't mind. This is our job, okay? It's about your upline. Talking to your downline. Make sure you are staying in contact with the people in your promotion spots all the time. Keep them updated. Keep them motivated. Say, like, ask them, like, hey, what's going on? How are things going? Do you have any potentials? How are you feeling? Is there anything I can help you with? Can I do this? Can I do that? Although you are helping promote, this is your promotion. You need to be in charge. What, Lindsay?
Well, I was gonna say, even like you would be like how I told you, like even asking, like, hey, would it help if I sent you a post?
Yeah. So I had sent about 2 weeks before the end of the month, about halfway through the month. I don't know exactly when. I sent every single person on my team, literally like 60 people, and I said, hey, post this today in your own words. And it was like a host-to post thing because I knew we needed a ton of volume, guys. We still needed like 3,000 BV halfway through the month. So I was like, what the heck are we going to do? We need volume. So I sent them a post and I said, post this. And if they didn't post it after 6 hours, I was like, why the heck didn't you post it? I saw you read my message. Don't ignore me. Hello, here I am. Like, I don't take nonsense. I don't take people ignoring me.
Something that I don't know if you did it because I don't know if I saw it before then, but I know I saw a thing. It might have been the beginning of this month, and this could be helpful. Like if you have people on your team who aren't really working, or maybe someone started but they like fizzled out, asking them to host a post for you. Like being like, hey, you know, like I know maybe this wasn't really for you or whatever. Like, hey, like I know you had some stuff going on or maybe you don't want to do this right now, but would you mind putting up a post for me?
Yeah.
And then like you giving them a post, and then that way if anybody comments on it, like you'll message them and stuff. And then like you can move any customers you get from their post, you can move them to them because obviously they're going to need the volume anyways for your promotion. Yeah. And like if you start signing people from their post, that might give them a little boost of like, wow, like, okay, like, you know, especially if they never really got going. And if they're like, holy cow, like, I made this post for her and she like is signing up customers from it, like maybe I can do this. Like maybe I do have people that would be interested. But I know that's what someone told me that they were doing, like if they had people who weren't really working anymore, that they did help boost the volume in the boxes that they needed it. So that might be something too that
I think
you could do.
I have done that and it works very, very well. I did that with someone and she is now messaging me and been like, sorry, I've had my head up my butt, but I'm ready to work now. Cool. Only been 9 months, but hello.
I had a girl I did that with because she couldn't work because of like disability or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and she was like trying to get her shopping spree. And I was like, hey, if nothing else, you can at least get your shopping spree. And I signed up like 2 or 3 loyals for her, like, which I moved them to her, but it was somewhere that we needed volume 2. But it was like, she has so much interest. It was like crazy that, you know, she wasn't. So sometimes people are still like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I'll still help you. I just don't want to do anything, or I don't want to do it, you know, but they'll still help you. And they can have friends that are interested.
Yeah. So communication, I think, was the number one reason why I went Diamond. I always knew what I needed. And for the most part, my team always knew what we needed. And my promoters always knew what they needed. And don't feel like you're annoying them, because you're not. Like, people get excited about helping other people. It's just like in our blood. Make sure people know what's going on and what's needed where, and stay in contact with them. There's nothing wrong with finding an inspirational quote on Pinterest and being like, hey girl, I saw this and I thought of you. Like, I'm so excited to see you go Ruby this month. I'm so excited to see you hit the 400 club, whatever. Make sure that they know that you're thinking about them and that you believe in them, because sometimes it's the little things of someone messaging you being like, hey, you got this, to be like, they know me, like they notice me, like they know whatever. That's huge, guys. Just someone else's belief, because people don't always have the belief in themselves. So let them borrow some of yours. Let them have some of your belief in them until they can believe in themselves. So I updated my team like weekly as far as what volume we needed where. And then the last week of the month, I did it all the time. Okay. All the time. Last topic, pushing the BV. First thing that I forgot to write down, try to upsell, guys. It's going to take a whole lot longer if you're selling only Fat Fighters, because that's 25 BV, than if you're selling a system. That's 100. You would need 16 Fat Fighters to equal 4 systems. I don't know about you, but it's a lot easier to sign 4 loyals than 16. Be smart. Don't be afraid to tell someone. Like, I remember I was afraid to upsell because I was like, what if they tell me like they don't want anything? Which it happened to me once, but whatever. Literally, you get all of the information if you're going to place the order and be like, okay, so I know you're super excited about the cleanse, but you do get my 40% off discount. And I know that you're really wanting to like tone up your stomach or lose weight or whatever. Would you be interested? Like, how do you feel about trying this instead of just the cleanse? And then offer them the system or the Fit 30 or whatever. And then just say like, I think it'd be great for you. What do you think? The worst they can say is no, and you're still putting in their dumb cleanse order. But you never know if someone's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then right there is 110 BV versus 36.
I know something I started doing was I was trying to post like about more than one product. Like I would try to do before and afters that had like at least 2 products. Or even like, you know, post just because that way people are going to be like, oh, like what are those versus like if you just had one thing.
Yeah.
Or like if someone was like, oh, like, you know, like maybe talking to me about the coffee or maybe talking to me about the cleanse. They mentioned, yeah, I really want to lose like blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, the cleanse is awesome. And the keto coffee is so amazing. Like I would kind of just bring something else up because then it kind of like most of these people don't know that we have more stuff. So even just piquing their interest, and I used to like hate giving people my website but then like, I don't know, like this last few months, like I would have people be like, oh, well, do you have like a website I can check out some of your other products? And like, I can't tell you how many people ordered multiple products, like once they did go and like look at what we had.
Yeah, I had someone that went to order a cleanse and she ended up ordering like a cleanse wraps and like 2 other things. And I was like, oh, great. Thanks. So don't be afraid of that. Don't assume that everybody only wants that one product, or don't assume that if you give them your website, they're not going to buy anything. Like some people were just genuinely curious and want to see. I had one girl that she was like, I know this sounds super weird, but can you just send me the picture of the hair, skin, and nails bottle? Like some people just are visual. They just want to see things. That's another thing. Some people think it's very hard to upsell from hair, skin, and nails. It is not. So with hair, skin, and nails, you can be like, okay, yeah, like I know, like your hair's gonna grow like crazy. You're gonna see like better lashes, better nails. It's gonna help your skin. But do you have any specific skin concerns either? So you could be like, oh my god, I have such bad acne. Oh my gosh, try that exfoliating peel. My skin's super dry. Try the facials. Like, know the products. Not that you need to like memorize them, but know things that you can recommend to people. And if you don't know what to recommend, talk to your upline because they will know what to recommend.
Yeah. One other thing I was gonna say too, kind of off the subject of that, but even just like when you're making your plan, like I know that like Courtney, especially, just to sticks out in my head, and I know there's other people that have done it too, like she would be like, okay, by this date I want to have all the distributors that I need, like usually the middle of the month, because in that way you're like, okay, and then after that we just have to focus on volume.
Yes.
And something else I was gonna say earlier and I forgot was, like whenever I personally would, if I'm like working on promoting and I personally would sign up a customer, and as far as like where do I place it, I always look at placing first, like even in, we'll say in Courtney's situation, just because it's so fresh in my head, but I would be like, okay, where's the least likely spot that's going to get volume on their own? Like if you have 2 non-workers over on this side and the executive's kind of a non-worker too, and then on this side you have people that are killing it signing their own customers, put it on the side that's probably not going to sign their own. Like, you know what I mean? Like knock those out while you can. So if those are things that,
yeah,
like that would be where I like kind of how I strategize, like placing customers, just because you want to try to take care of the volume the best you know what I mean? Like you don't want to be, if someone's over there signing 30 little customers and you put more customers over there, that's not really, you know what I mean? Like you want to keep it evened out.
Take it out of your mind that you have to be like even with the loyals that you pass out. Like don't be like, okay, I put 1 on person A's legs and I have to put 1 on person B's leg. I don't care if you put 30 on person A's leg and 1 on person B's leg. If they both promote and you promote, it's all great. Who cares? So who cares? Yeah. This is your promotion. You're not going to be a micromanager, but you need to be in control. You need to know what's happening, who's working, who's doing what the potentials are, what's supposed to come together. You need to know what's going on. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to hit Ruby, but not know who's on your team, never talk to them, never know what volume they need, whatever. And yes, you can count on your upline to help you with that, but don't count on your upline to be like, hey, what do I need to go Emerald? Because yes, we'd love to do that, but also like, you need to know how to do that. You need to know what you need. Because when you go Emerald or when you go Diamond or whatever, your team's going to come to you. And you need to be able to help them instead of being like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to grow. You need to like evolve yourself. So BV, the top things that helped me. 1, host a post. Do 1 million host a posts. Your goal should be 20 new posts a day. Do it. Figure it out. 20 new host a posts a day. You'll get your volume. Whether you want to be easy on yourself and say 20 between you and your team, great. 20 yourself, even better. Get them up.
Well, and a good way to do that is like doing that green light thing. Like go to your messenger and see who's active. You can kind of, and I've done it before, being like, hey, can you do me a favor? What's that? Oh, can you throw up a post? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Most times people are going to say yeah.
Yeah. Second thing, do random contests whether you give away a prize or not. Or whatever. Like just be like Monday challenge, send out 10 messages, like let me know who, like comment in here done when you finish it. Sometimes your team doesn't know what to do. It's not that they don't want to work, they just don't know, and they don't want to come to you and look stupid, even though it's not stupid, and just be like, hey, what should I do today? What should I message? So lay it out there for them. You can be like, Monday challenge, send 10 of these messages, screenshot any responses and send them to me personally. Whatever. Get it going. The last thing is a touchy subject. And this is why I asked you guys also what I could say and if you guys were okay with it. What are you willing to give away? What are you willing to do? So I personally, the last day of the month, about halfway through, I was like, shoot, we need like 1,000 BV still. What am I going to do? I gave any new loyal customer or distributor that placed an order, I gave them an extra free product. Not that it needs to be a full free product, but it could be like, whoever places an order today gets a 5-day sample pack of whatever, or whatever, gets into a drawing for something. Figure out what you're willing to do and what you're willing to put out there to get where you need to get to. Also, something people don't always talk about with promoting. You might have to place an order or two to get to where you want to go. Don't be afraid of that. But don't place more than what you're going to make. If you're going for Ruby, don't put $1,500 into it. Don't be stupid. But if you're going for Emerald and you know for sure next month when you hit Emerald, at least your Emerald bonus is going to be $500, and you need to put $300 into it to get that bonus, place that order to get that, and then work your ass off next month to make sure you don't need to place an order to maintain. Like, you need to be so invested that you're like, I don't care what I have to do. I remember telling Lindsay, which, not the greatest plan, but I remember told Lindsay, I was like, because I knew my bonuses, because my Emerald and Diamond, I would get $1,250 of just bonuses. And I told Lindsay, I was like, I'll put $1,200 into it if I have to. I don't care. Because I had that much belief in myself and my team that if I couldn't get it out that month, I was going to bust my butt to make sure it happened the next month to maintain. So, yes, work your ass off to get as much volume as you can. I'm sorry, I keep swearing. I need to stop. I just get all fired up. But work your butt off to finish it, but be willing to put a little extra in if you need to. Be willing to. What?
And you even you were willing to spend money, and I think you spent $75 in the end of the month.
I spent $75, and I was over $1,200 in.
But just because she made it happen, you guys. If Courtney can get and her team can get 4,000 BV, you and your team can get your 300 BV or your 1,000 BV. You know what I mean? Guys, and if you're thinking holy crap, this is crazy. She did all these crazy things. It's all dependent on you and your goal, what your goal is, and also how hard you're willing to work to make it happen. That's it. Are you gonna say no excuses? This is the month. It's happening this month. I'm so sick of saying it's gonna happen. Or am I willing to work harder this month, work and do more things this month, so that next month I can be excited and celebrate and say I did it.
You guys, this is what I did because I needed so much volume. So much. We ended up actually adding over 5,500 volume for the month. But we needed 4,000. Just over. And a couple things. One, did I work harder? Yes, but is it hard? No, you're sitting on your phone. It's not hard. Get over yourself. It's not hard. It takes dedication, but it's not, you're not lifting and slinging 200-pound weights, guys. You're on your phone. Be dedicated. Don't tell yourself yeah, I'm going to go with Ruby, whatever, but then not be willing to work for it. If you're not willing to work for it and put the work in, don't be mad when you don't hit it. And here's my philosophy on, because I already know that there are some of you that are hearing what I did a day and you're like, there's no way I can send 100 messages a day. Fine, you don't have to. But wouldn't you rather send more and have extra volume and do it faster than be me and need 1,000 BV with 4 hours to spare? Because I wished I would have sent 200 messages a day. Guys, know what you need. And if you're if you need 300 BV, I mean this in the nicest way possible. If you need less than 1,000 BV to hit your promotion this month and it scares you, figure your stuff out, because that is nothing. I don't care if you have one person on your team and you need over just around 1,000 whatever to go Ruby, which that doesn't even make sense, but whatever. That's nothing. And I'm telling you that not because I'm oh, I'm so great, my team's so great, but if you work hard and you're willing to put yourself through the ringer to get yourself where you need to go, you're going to do it. That's nothing. I did that in 4 hours. 4 hours.